They thought they were getting their dream home, but instead they got scammed out of thousands of dollars. The man responsible is now facing years behind bars. The details coming up. And in mere hours, a new platform that may help you get your prescription medication is expected to launch thanks to the Trump administration. More on that coming up. And we've got a guest to talk about a unique fundraiser that fights food insecurity right here in East Texas. Stay tuned for all that and more. It's coming up on CBS 19 Plus.
And we may be pretty cold this morning, but we are for some very warm afternoons into the next several days. I'll show you that 7-day forecast coming up. So stay right there because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Retired veteran and his wife were looking forward to life in the Piney Woods when they connected with a contractor through social media. They thought they were getting their dream home, but instead they got scammed out of over $60,000. The man responsible is now headed to prison. Red flags they want you to know ahead on Morning Y'all here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez is on assignment. We're so glad you're joining us. Want to get over to the Weather Center now, see how things are shaping up. Besides being cold this morning, we do have the afternoon to look forward to.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And not only this afternoon, but for the next several afternoons, temperatures will be increasing quite a bit. We're talking about 20-degree temperatures above average, I should say, into the next few afternoons. Lots of clear skies overhead. Temperatures for this morning definitely on the chillier side. 31, just below freezing here in Tyler. Feeling like 31, luckily with a light southwesterly wind of around 3 miles per hour. 29 in Mineola, also 36 in Jacksonville, 28 in Palestine, also in Crockett, 33 in Nacogdoches, and 30 the current temperature in Lufkin. Those temperatures through the rest of this morning will eventually increase into the 40s, 50s, and then finally crossing into the 60s by the early parts of the afternoon. Again, we'll have lots of sunshine in this forecast. Very dry weather over the next few days. 66 for the high today, way up into the upper 70s for tomorrow. Brief cold front comes through Friday afternoon into Saturday, dropping us into the low 70s. And more 70-degree temperatures will be on the way. Even after that, I'll show you how long that lasts coming up in your 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Joel. An East Texas veteran and his wife thought they were investing in their dream retirement home, but instead they were scammed out of more than $60,000. And now that man, they say disrupted their future, will spend his behind bars. Prosecutors say Titus County contractor Ashley Brian Campbell is now headed to prison for 12 years for taking tens of thousands of dollars for major construction work that never started. Now the couple is speaking out. CBS 19's Robert De La Garza shows us how Campbell took advantage of their trust and what they're doing now to rebuild.
Retired veteran Austin May and his wife had hopes of building their future.
Our entire savings that we had put together for this, that was supposed to be going to a post-military retirement home in the country.
After 22 years in the military, they plan to leave Central Texas for the Piney Woods to chase their American dream.
We got online and put out requests for information on local builders who could build something custom. And Ashley Campbell was one of the people who reached out.
Ashley Campbell with Decked Out Construction and Outdoor Living contacted me on social media.
He was working with us and everything sounded like it was going to fit our budget and it was going to be great. And that's how that got started.
After getting estimates, they cashed in their savings and moved forward. But soon red flags started popping up.
He already had a huge chunk of money and no work had been done and he was still asking for more.
May says he and his wife paid Campbell over $60,000 from their savings with no work to show for it.
We made our calls to the companies that supposedly were supplying the equipment for the build. They were dumbfounded. They had no idea who we were, had no order numbers, anything like that. So
then they found out they weren't alone. Investigators said Campbell had a history of theft and shady contracts in multiple counties, often settling before cases went to court.
I will tell you that scammers are usually very charming or good speakers, and they are trying to get you to make a decision based on emotion and not necessarily logic.
Michelle Mills is the president and CEO for the Better Business Bureau of East Texas. She encourages others to do thorough research and get multiple quotes from reputable contractors.
pay a third at the beginning, a third when it's 50% complete, and the last third when the job is done to your satisfaction.
If we do dwell on it, then he does win, and he does set us back, and we're determined not to let him.
Now that their trust in contractors has been broken, May says they've switched to DIY.
We're still here. We still have the house. It's just not going to look like the dream that Ashley Campbell sold us, because that dream never actually existed.
It may not have been the American dream with a white picket fence they imagined, but despite the speed bumps, their vision never wavered. For CBS 19, I'm Robert De La Garza.
Thank you, Robert. Well, disturbing allegations out of Trinity County where a teacher is on administrative leave. He and his wife are facing criminal charges after authorities say they were involved in medical child abuse. John Holcomb, a Trinity ISD elementary school teacher, was arrested yesterday and charged with injury to a child by criminal negligence. Authorities say he allowed or failed to prevent excessive psychiatric treatment that caused harm to his child. And investigators allege the child's mother, Paula Holcomb, sought out multiple doctors for illnesses she claimed the child had. A Houston doctor later diagnosed her with Munchausen by proxy. Sheriff Woody Wallace says Paula was arrested in Harris County. We are learning more about what started a fast-moving house fire in Smith County that forced 10 people out of their home. It happened Tuesday night on Hillendale Road, just west of Tyler off of Highway 31. Investigators now say the fire started in a covered outdoor kitchen. The flames then raced into the attic and through the roof. Despite the intensity of the fire, the family made it out safely. The Smith County Fire Marshal's office says that both the home and the outdoor kitchen are a total loss. Happening now, thousands of families across Texas are applying for the new Education Freedom Accounts program that's now open. The funds can be used for tuition and other education expenses like tutoring and textbooks. 8,000 applications were sent in during the first hour of the program opening yesterday. If the number of applicants exceeds the $1 billion state that lawmakers set for the program, there will be a lottery system.
The more people who apply who don't get it, that will be used in future legislative sessions to determine how much money they budget for this in the future. So I'm telling everyone, if you're interested in the program, apply for it.
Even if students are accepted by the program, they will still need to apply and be accepted by a private school. The deadline to apply is March 17th, and families will find out whether they got into the program sometime in early April. 7:09, time for your morning headlines. Savannah Guthrie and her siblings are pleading for their mother, Nancy, to be returned safely. The co-host of the Today Show took to social media last night alongside her two siblings to relay a message to their mother's abductor, indicating they are willing to talk and want to see evidence that their mother is alive. The social media plea comes as the search for Nancy Guthrie stretches into a fifth day. Authorities believe the 84-year-old was taken from her Tucson area home against her will late Saturday night. The man convicted of trying to assassinate President Trump at his Florida golf course plans to appeal after he was sentenced to life in prison. During sentencing yesterday, his attorney asked for leniency, but prosecutors argued for the maximum punishment, saying Ryan Routh never showed remorse for his actions. The judge agreed, calling Routh evil before sentencing him to life. And in just a few hours, the Trump administration is expected to launch a new prescription drug online platform called Trump RX. The site will allow patients to buy certain medicines at a discounted price directly from drug makers, that is. It is unclear if the purchases will be lower for those with insurance, but Trump says he has landed deals with nearly 20 pharmaceutical companies to list certain products. And Pizza Hut is closing nearly 250 locations across the U.S. due to declining sales. That amounts to about 3% of the chain's locations nationwide. Pizza Hut has struggled lately, especially against its biggest rival, Domino's. The stores will close in the first half of this year. Specific locations have yet to be announced. Self-driving cars promise greater safety than humans, but recent school bus incidents are sparking concerns. Coming up, why Congress is pressing for answers. Well, most states have some sort of legislation governing self-driving vehicles, but it's a patchwork that's causing headaches for the fast-growing industry. And Congress is stepping in. Leaders at Tesla and Waymo testified before a Senate committee about their driverless cars. CBS's Chris Van Cleve has details.
It doesn't sleep, doesn't blink, and doesn't get tired.
Top executives from Tesla and Waymo told the Senate Commerce Committee Wednesday their self-driving technology saves lives.
Our data shows that we are 10 times less likely to be involved in a serious injury collision as compared to human drivers.
But the tech giants also admit it's a work in progress. At least 24 times in the last year, Waymo's failed to yield to school buses in Austin. Texas Senator Ted Cruz asked Waymo's chief safety officer what the company is doing to stop it from happening again.
How do you verify that these changes will protect school bus riders moving forward?
And we are working with the Austin Independent School District to collect data on different lighting patterns and different conditions. And we're continuously learning and improving because our work is safety is never done.
Lawmakers are looking to craft legislation to regulate the rollout of autonomous vehicles and set a safety standard that puts Americans at ease.
And the freedom that will give elderly people is such a comfort to me as I become an elderly people.
Wyoming Senator Cynthia Loomis is also thinking of her grandsons and how they could benefit from a car that stops them from making bad decisions behind the wheel.
And I hope they don't exercise poor judgment, but they're boys, and they might.
Waymo and Tesla say it's imperative the U.S. moves quickly to support self-driving vehicles to prevent China from taking the lead. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, San Francisco.
Well, we're just days away from the Super Bowl, and no matter what team you're rooting for, everyone can agree the snacks are always a win. So we want to know, what's your favorite Super Bowl snack? Do you have one?
Oh, I think so. I remember last year for the Super Bowl, there was this these little mini tacos that were heated up. It kind of reminded me of taquitos, which I really like too.
Yum. For me, it's definitely wings. You got to have wings at the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
And then we usually make this buffalo chicken dip that kind of tastes like wings.
Yeah.
Clearly, I like the spicy hot wing situation.
Wing on wing.
Wing on wing, that's right.
I love it.
Tracy says armadillo eggs, jalapeno poppers.
Oh,
I
really?
also like those.
I've never had those.
You don't like spicy though, so it'd be tough for you.
You're exactly right, and that is the reason why I haven't had them.
And that's right. And he's probably not going to.
Yes.
All right, more and more folks hitting the road right now. How are things looking?
Not looking too bad. Let's take you on over to our I-20 report this morning, as well as the rest of the area. Not looking bad at all. Nice and quiet on I-20. 2 hours over to Dallas with an hour and 30 minutes over to Shreveport. So again, no issues this morning. 2.5 hours up to Denison, hour and 30 minutes down south into Lufkin. So all clear on US 69 as well. If you're heading out from Jacksonville to Nacogdoches or Tyler to Palestine, both will take you 55 minutes with 40 minutes from Tyler to Longview and 45 minutes from Tyler to Athens. And as for CBS19 live radar, we are pretty clear all across the area. The stuff that you see right here, just ground clutter. We are just dealing with some clear skies overhead, which is fantastic. Not looking too bad as far as our current visibilities, 9 to 10 miles of visibility all across the area. Green lights all the way through this morning and into this afternoon. Chilly start, upper 20s and low 30s. Definitely make sure to bundle up on your way out this morning. 66 degrees for the high this afternoon, though. Sunny skies overhead. Traffic should be okay.
Sounds good. Thank you, Joel. Well, it is a tradition. It's making a real impact in the fight against hunger here in East Texas. This month, the East Texas Food Bank is holding their annual fundraiser called Empty Bowls Tyler. Now, this is a chance for you to enjoy some great food for a great cause. And joining us to talk about the event is Tim Butler, Chief Development Officer for the East Texas Food Bank. Thanks for being with us and staying around for CBS 19 Plus.
Yeah.
Well, for the people who weren't watching earlier, tell them what Empty Bowls Tyler is and how it helps the people you serve.
Yeah, so Empty Bowls Tyler is East Texas Food Bank's signature event. We've been doing it for 3 years. Hall Buick GMC is our presenting sponsor this year. And really the idea of this event is, one, to raise awareness about our neighbors that are experiencing food insecurity. 1 out of every 5 people in East Texas, it's about 250,000 folks.
A lot.
Yeah, exactly. So just letting people be aware of that. And 2, giving people the opportunity to become a part of the mission by attending Empty Bowls, having a great time. All the tickets are $50 a piece. All that money goes directly towards feeding people.
And when people come to Empty Bowls, there's going to be restaurants from all over East Texas, and basically they get to sample this food, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have up to 20 different restaurants, some of the best in town. We have Bellagio, 12, Olive Garden, Bubba's. It's going to be a whole lot. So some of our favorites, and they're going to be offering the best items off of their menu. So you can come in, get a whole smorgasbord of food. We're going to have beer and wine there too, silent auction, raffle. It's going to be a great night.
But the even better part is what people are learning by being at the event. They're at your venue at the East Texas Food Bank, and they can see, I mean, the sheer number of people that you serve through the sheer volume of all the food that's on your shelves.
That's kind of the fun thing about and unique thing about this event is it's hosted on in our facility over on Robertson Road, west side of Tyler, and you can see the stacks of food. You can see the 9,000 square foot fridge. You can see the 5-story freezer. You know, the work that we do, it's a lot bigger than people understand. 40 million pounds of food, 35 million meals last year. It's incredible. We have food coming in and out all day, every day throughout the year.
And how many people would you like to feed through this, just this one event, Empty Bowls?
I think we can provide 700,000 meals. Just from this event, from the proceeds from this event, we could do 700,000 meals across East Texas.
I mean, that's a huge difference, right?
Absolutely.
So how many food banks are you helping also in the community?
Great question. So kind of the backbone of what we do is we provide food to food pantries across our 26 county service area. So we have 135 of them approximately, all the way up to Texarkana, all the way down to Lufkin. We go west to around like the Maybank area, and then Louisiana in the east. It's a huge service area, and those folks are serving their neighbors directly. They're real superheroes in your community.
And we've really seen the need since COVID. It hasn't really gone away. Has it gotten more intense, more difficult?
I'd actually say, I haven't compared it recently, but at one point we were serving 33% more people than we were in the heart of COVID, which is just crazy to think about.
Yeah, there's been so much, difficult times for people with the economy and things like that. Talk about the volunteers. That also is something that you guys need all the time, right?
Yeah, we love our volunteers. So last year we had 34,000 individual volunteers. The labor that they provide, if we had to hire people to do that, it would cost us over $1 million. So we couldn't do it without our volunteers. Almost every piece of donated food that goes in that facility is touched by a volunteer at one time or another.
That's pretty special. Well, he's been telling me, Tim has, that they are almost out of tickets, but you still do have some. Yeah. So how do you get those tickets and get them fast?
We got a few. So if you wait until next week, I can't guarantee that. But if you go to emptybowlstyler.com, you can purchase your tickets there. $50 a piece. With $50, we can provide 2,000 meals.
It's incredible how far your dollar can go at the food bank.
Exactly.
Hey, thanks for being with us, and good luck on your event. I know it's going to be a huge success, and thanks for all that they do year-round for the people of East Texas.
Thank you.
It's time for CBS19 Sports.
Morning, y'all. Dan Malay with your sports here. Appreciate you joining us. Yesterday, of course, was National Signing Day. And if you've been keeping up, you would notice a lot of signatures going under one school's name, and it's a school you may have never even heard of before.
Just about every coach in East Texas said the same school's name on signing day.
Texas A&M, Texarkana.
It's a school that's never played a down of football, yet signed 35 East Texans.
We're some dogs. It's East Texas for a reason,
And nearly every single signee said the same thing.
And I love the coaches. The coaches and the facilities,
A little over a month ago, the Eagles hired Josh Ergel to lead the team into its first Division II season in 2027. That's right, 2027. None of the players that signed on National Signing Day will play in 2026. Instead, they'll go through a developmental year to grow the program and team before that first game. The idea of not playing at all can be a tough sell, but Les Miles was a great recruiter in his day, and Coach Ergel worked very closely underneath the national championship winning coach for years before making a path for himself. And now he's got guys like Tyler Legacy's Eric Miller, an Incarnate Ward commit, flipping to fly with the Eagles.
Facilities, the coaches are really bought in. So when coaches are bought in and passionate about, the program, a lot of East Texas kids and a lot of kids around the country are really coming in and being invested and buying into what they're doing.
But the staff might have had a little help from his position neighbor on that one.
Yeah, I might have convinced them a little bit, yeah.
Because these East Texans love sticking together.
Piney Woods area, we love it here.
And now they're not Bulldogs, they're not Lobos, not Red Raiders. It's all just
Soar Eagles the whole time. Yes, sir.
As they make up the first ever football class for the Texas A&M Texarkana Eagles. Jimmy Searfoss, CBS 19.
All right, now let's show some love to the stars of yesterday afternoon signing day session, starting in Gladewater with Bears running back Carson Cooper. Coop staying close to home, about 20 minutes from G-Water. In fact, he'll be hitting the turf at R.E. St. John Memorial Stadium with Kilgore College. Talking about why he chose the Rangers, Carson mentioned some family ties to Kilgore, as well as the added perk of having his family close enough to catch some ball games. And overall, it's a lifetime of hard work that's all led to this moment.
It feels good, you know. For the past 4 years, I've been working, doing everything. It just finally feels good for it to pay off. Not everybody experiences it, so I'm just trying to just grow as a person, as a player.
Yeah, that's a proud moment for me right there. Because I pushed him, he pushed himself, but it's just a proud moment. He put work in over the years and years and years of work. He went through some hard times, a couple of injuries, but he never gave up though, so I commend him for that.
Proud papa right there, folks. You absolutely love to see it. Over in Lindale yesterday, the Eagles celebrated a pair of footballers taking their talents to the college ranks in defensive back Jacob Petway and offensive lineman Cameron Griffin. Petway's heading to Fort Hays State to represent the Tigers, while Griffin will be a Greyhound at Eastern New Mexico University. And those teams don't play in the same conference, but they are both at the Division II level, so the guys are excited about the idea of potentially lining up against each other.
Oh, yes, sir. I hope we get to play against each other. I love Jacob. He's a great teammate. I'm wishing the best for him. I feel like I've been through everything. Coach Cochran and our coaching staff has put me through difficult situations, so when I get there, I mean, it's just kind of second nature to me. I'll just be able to handle anything that's thrown my way. I'm ready to see what position I'm playing. So I played so many positions this year, so I'm ready to find out what they're going to put me at, honestly. So
You got a preference?
Maybe corner or safety. We'll see, though. Don't know yet, but I'm happy to find out.
Folks, imagine being such a good athlete. You can just kind of show up to camp and work out what position you're going to play on your college football team. Pretty cool. Congrats to everybody who took that next step yesterday towards playing college ball. Well, that's all the time we have for sports. Morning, y'all. Back to y'all.
Well, we're about to step away for a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcast with a news update for you. Stay with us here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this morning news update. An East Texas veteran and his wife thought that they were investing in their dream home, their retirement home. Instead, they were scammed out of more than $60,000. Now, the man they say disrupted their future is headed to prison. Prosecutors say Titus County contractor Ashley Bryan Campbell will spend the next 12 years behind bars for taking tens of thousands of dollars for major construction work that never started. After 22 years in the military, retired veteran Austin May and his wife were ready to rebuild their American Dream in the Piney Woods. And they say Campbell from Decked Out Construction reached out to them on social media, promising a custom build that fit their budget. But soon red flags started popping up.
We made our calls to the companies that supposedly were supplying the equipment for the build. They were dumbfounded. They had no idea who we were, had no order numbers, anything like that. So if we do dwell on it, then he does win, and he does set us back, and we're determined not to let him.
Investigators say Campbell has a history of theft and shady contracts in multiple counties. Disturbing allegations out of Trinity County, where a teacher is on administrative leave. He and his wife are facing criminal charges after authorities say they were involved in medical child abuse. John Holcomb, a Trinity ISD elementary school teacher, was arrested yesterday. Authorities say he allowed or failed to prevent excessive psychiatric treatment that caused harm to his child. Investigators allege the child's mother, Paula Holcomb, sought out multiple doctors for illnesses she claimed the child had. A Houston doctor diagnosed her with Munchausen by proxy. Sheriff Woody Wallace says Paula was arrested in Harris County. And we're learning more about what started a fast-moving house fire in Smith County that forced 10 people out of their home. It happened Tuesday night on Hillendale Road, just west of Tyler, off Highway 31. And investigators now say the fire started in a covered outdoor kitchen. The flames then raced into the attic and through the roof. Despite the intensity of that fire, the family made it out safely. The Smith County Fire Marshal's office says both the home and the outdoor kitchen are a total loss. Let's get over to Joel now and a check of your forecast.
Yeah, we got some clear skies overhead for the rest of the day. We'll have plenty of sunshine. Temperatures for the afternoon making their way into the middle to upper 60s. Excellent weather for the patio, and it just gets better from there as temperatures go way above the average. Again, there you go, 60s for today. We'll drop down into the upper 30s and low 40s for tonight before making a run for the middle to upper 70s, pretty close to 80, if not hitting 80 in some parts of the area for tomorrow afternoon. We'll drop down once again into the upper 30s to low 40s to start your Saturday. A cooler stretch of weather, really only for a day, will be coming through for your day on Saturday. 60s, likely going to see a little bit of 70-degree temperatures on the board as well. And then those 70s will be here to stay for the next several days. And we'll be dry for the next several days. That is until we get to Tuesday into Wednesday as we introduce our next chance of rain to the forecast.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. Here's what's coming up in our second half hour. A new community is rising in Kerrville after the deadly July 4th floods. Up next, we share how newly built homes could change lives and a neighborhood forever. And Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have shared a heart-wrenching plea, begging for their mom to come home safely. The latest on the search coming up next on CBS 19 Plus.
We are off to a cold start this morning, and we'll have some chilly mornings up ahead, but the afternoons, on the other hand, they are set to be very warm, in fact, way above average. We'll take a look at all the latest numbers coming up later this half hour.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks so much for staying with us here on CBS 19 Plus. A former Kilgore football coach at the center of an investigation has an embezzlement charge against him dismissed. Forrest Mazie was accused of taking nearly $4,000 from a football program in Oklahoma where he once worked. Mazie went public on social media saying the facts are now front and center. Authorities had alleged that Mazie used a school account for unauthorized purchases, but with the charge dismissed, Mazie says he is putting this chapter behind him. A Kerr County man behind bars for a 2016 deadly shooting has died in an East Texas prison. Benjamin Pierce was found unresponsive in his cell at the Michael unit in Tennessee Colony on February 1st. Authorities say Pierce's death was caused by an infection from a lower back wound and malnutrition. Pierce had been serving time for killing Donald Ballard after a feud over Ballard's barking dog. The search continues for Today's Show anchor Savannah Guthrie's mother, who was reported missing over the weekend. Yesterday, Savannah Guthrie and her brother and sister released an emotional video asking for Nancy Guthrie's safe return. Reed Binion reports.
Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. Your children will not rest until we are together again.
Today's Show anchor Savannah Guthrie, flanked by her siblings, pleading for her mother's return in a wrenching video posted to Instagram Wednesday.
Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home.
Days after 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie's apparent abduction from her Tucson area home, there was an increased law enforcement presence outside the residence Wednesday. The Pima County Sheriff's Office said detectives were doing a follow-up at the property and in the neighborhood. Crime scene tape went up and law enforcement carried evidence bags into the house and appeared to bring some back out into a vehicle. In her video plea, Savannah Guthrie also addressed reports of ransom notes in the case.
We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated.
At least 3 different media outlets, including 2 TV stations in Tucson, say they received ransom notes this week demanding millions of dollars in Bitcoin for Nancy Guthrie's safe return. The outlets said the notes described specific evidence in the home where authorities say she was last seen. The sheriff declined to confirm whether those claims match the crime scene, and investigators haven't confirmed whether the notes are legitimate.
We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Prosecutors say they are seeking the death penalty for a man accused of shooting 2 National Guard members. Ramanullah Lochinwal allegedly traveled from Washington State to D.C. and shot 2 National Guard members near the White House in November. A 3rd guardsman heard the shots and fired at Lochinwal, hitting him. Sarah Beckstrom died the next day. And Andrew Wolf is still recovering. Lochinwal entered a not guilty plea in federal court yesterday. The president's border czar, Tom Homan, announced plans to immediately reduce the number of federal officers in Minneapolis after 2 U.S. citizens were killed within the last month. About 2,000 agents remain in Minnesota, and Homan says his goal is for them all to leave if certain conditions are met. Meanwhile, lawmakers on Capitol Hill have under 2 weeks to reach a deal on ICE reforms before DHS funding runs out. 7:35 now. A new community is being built in Kerrville for families who lost everything in the July 4th floods. The homes come courtesy of the nonprofit Habitat for Humanity. Simone Simpson with our station there has the story.
You're looking at the first 10 disaster recovery homes in a new community in Kerrville. All the homes you see here will go to flood victims.
It's for families that can't build and where their house is existing, it's been destroyed, or because of elevation they're not able to build, or even trauma that they don't want to live where they saw horrific things happening.
The Mariposa community is part of the Habitat for Humanity's affordability program. The only criteria? Low-income individuals.
So we started with the people that needed it the most, that don't have other resources, and the foundation empowered us to do that.
The Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country is funding $2.5 million for these first 10 homes you see here.
We're matching the homes matching to the needs of the family. Everything that we have received is going back into the local economy. 98% of the money that we are spending goes directly to suppliers and local subcontractors. It's thank you, because you're doing it with us.
The 44-home community is expected to be done in 3 years, building hope, one plank at a time.
It's really about empowering the family. It's about giving them a chance. Once you have an affordable home, you can now afford better health care, you can get a better education and that kind of thing. So it really is the single best way to lift someone out of poverty.
The first 10 homes of a 44-home community will be done by May this year.
In other Texas news this morning, Hutchins City Council members met yesterday about converting a warehouse into an ICE detention center. Now, Hutchins is just outside of Dallas. The potential detention center would become the largest in the state. The warehouse would hold up to 9,500 people. Earlier this week, residents spoke before City Council, expressing their concerns. The mayor assured them that he and his fellow council members stand with residents and don't want to see an ICE facility either.
You've got a safety issue there. You can't just put people in a warehouse, and I mean, what are the facilities? What are you going to do? I mean, there's going to be some showering. There's got to be some utilization of bathroom facilities. Warehouses are not designed to do that.
The Hutchins mayor said that they have not yet received any communication or documents from the federal government about their plans. Governor Greg Abbott spoke out yesterday calling for an end to student protests during school hours. He's given directives to the Texas Education Agency calling for penalties for students who take part and any school staff that helps them. Growing concerns around ICE activity are driving these student-led walkout protests statewide, including here in East Texas. And Governor Greg Abbott says that's enough. The protests have ranged in size. Some happen on school grounds while others move over off campus. The TEA is now cracking down on districts, and those in violation could face a loss of funding since districts are paid based on student attendance. And students will be marked absent. Governor Abbott says the state will set the parameters to determine what is necessary in identifying and investigating staff who help violate standards in supporting walkouts. A former Texas A&M professor is now suing the university she once worked for. Dr. Melissa McCool was fired after someone recorded a discussion of gender in one of her English courses last year. Now she's filed a lawsuit accusing the university of violating her right to free speech and due process of law. She said the decision comes with sadness because teaching at Texas A&M was her dream job. A spokesperson for A&M tells us they're aware of the lawsuit, but have not yet been served. They said the university intends to vigorously defend against the claims in the lawsuit, but will not comment any further at this time. In honor of Black History Month, events will be taking place all month long. Rusk County will be hosting its 18th annual Black History Gala this Saturday, February 7th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Henderson Civic Center. The event will honor the achievements of African Americans in the community and raise funds for scholarships that will go towards students in the community. Doors open at 5:30 and tickets are $15 for a single person or $25 per couple. For more information, you can contact Chairman Darwin Pauly at 903-241-8598. Well, thousands of fans are already rushing into San Francisco and Santa Clara ahead of Sunday's Super Bowl 60 at Levi's Stadium. At the same time, dozens of local law and federal law enforcement agencies are huddling to protect against threats on the ground, in the sky, and on the seas. CBS News' Gwen Baumgartner has more from San Francisco.
Super Bowl week is kicking off with more than 1 million people expected to travel through San Francisco this weekend. The security game plan took 18 months to draw up, pulling in more than 35 law enforcement agencies throughout the Bay Area and inside Levi's Stadium.
This Super Bowl, let's celebrate the game, protect the fans, teams, and businesses that make it great.
Security efforts extend to the sky as agents conduct aerial surveillance and to the seas with stepped-up U.S. Coast Guard patrols.
By showing a greater presence, we hope to deter any type of bad actor.
Each year, agents with the Department of Homeland Security are at the stadium as well as event spaces like this. The NFL emphasizes they're here for safety efforts, not immigration enforcement.
There's no planned ICE enforcement activities. We are confident of that.
Throughout the week, bomb detection canines are working around the clock, while animals at the San Francisco Zoo work to put in their Super Bowl predictions. This lion believes the Patriots will claw their way to the Lombardi Trophy. Meanwhile, the McCullough family is betting big on the Seahawks.
More or less than $100.
More.
A lot more?
Yeah, a lot more. It'll be good for the bank account if we win.
Stadium security is locked in, but the outcome of Sunday's game is anything but. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, San Francisco.
The NFL is warning fans who plan on attending the big game to be mindful of all that heightened security and procedures. Also, avoid bringing in prohibited items like guns, fireworks, or bags and backpacks that don't meet the league's requirements. Law enforcement is also encouraging the public to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activities. Well, ahead of Super Bowl 61, man in Maine is getting ready to make his final trip to football's biggest stage. For most people, a trip to the Super Bowl is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but not for Don Chrisman of Kennebunk. It's been his tradition for nearly 6 decades. The lifelong Patriots fan has been to every single Super Bowl game since 1967. That is incredible. Wow. And he has seen his team win at all 6. Now, Chrisman has several autographed footballs and jerseys from the big game over the years. But now, nearly 90 years old, his goal to remain part of the Never Miss a Super Bowl club is coming to an end. Chrisman says Super Bowl 60 will be his last.
Oh, wow.
And his favorite team is playing in it.
Perfect way to wrap it up, I guess, right?
And 60,
Dang.
That's a huge celebration.
That's quite the collection. I mean, 1967. That's incredible.
I've been to none.
Me either.
I would love to go to one.
I've watched it through a TV.
I would mostly like to go to one if the Cowboys were in it, but we need that to happen again.
Yes.
Come on, Cowboys. All right, well, this year's Budweiser Super Bowl commercial celebrates 3 American icons, a Clydesdale horse, a bald eagle, and a North Dakota farmer. Brian Franzen, a 4th-generation barley farmer from Cole Harbor, was called from his fields to star in the ad. He only gets a brief moment on screen, but he hopes it reminds viewers just how important farmers are. The 60-second commercial honors the people behind America's beer and will air nationally during the big game. It's also available online through Budweiser's social media.
That's neat.
Yeah, that's pretty special. Just regular people.
Just regular people.
Being in big commercials that everybody's going to see.
We're Americans.
I can't wait for the commercials every year.
Oh,
I look forward to them.
They are some goofy commercials, that's for sure.
There's some goofy ones, but I also like the ones that make you shed a tear.
That's true.
So I'll probably like that one.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
It is. Kind of like the game.
It is.
Well, in a house divided by football loyalties, this couple is preparing for the biggest game yet, the arrival of their baby girl on Super Bowl Sunday. Football runs deep in the family. The wife, Isabella Crane, proudly roots for the local Seahawks, while her husband, Brady Crane, is a die-hard Patriots fan. Their soon-to-be arrival of a baby girl was revealed in a special gender reveal on the 50-yard line of Central Washington University's football field, complete with a Seahawks onesie. Whether she grows up cheering for the Hawks or the Patriots or some other team, both parents agree that a healthy baby girl on Super Bowl Sunday will be the ultimate championship moment.
That's a win, right?
That's right, a win either way.
Exactly. Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
All right, well, we're getting a win in the way of our weather because things are changing for the better.
Oh, totally, yeah. I mean, 60s for today. We'll continue to increase those temperatures into the upper 70s for tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic forecast going forward. If you have any plans this weekend or don't have any yet, definitely make some, because outdoor plans are definitely going to be encouraged, as we'll have plenty of sunshine and some very warm temperatures ahead for this weekend and into the next few days after that as well. Satellite and radar nice and clear. We got some clouds off to the north that are beginning to fizzle out as they continue to drop south. We'll end up with some clear skies for the rest of today and into the next couple days. Definitely on the chillier side though. 31 the reported temperature in Tyler, feeling like 31 luckily with a light southwesterly wind of around 3 miles per hour. Have a little bit of a wind chill at times, but even so, no matter how you slice it, it is a cold start to the day with 27 in Marshall and also as well as Jefferson, 31 in Tyler, 36 in Jacksonville, 33 in Nacogdoches, and a chilly 28 degrees in Palestine and Crockett. Those temperatures, they'll luckily be on their way up into the middle to upper 60s, going just a little bit above the average by around 6 or so degrees. We should be at 60 right by itself, but instead we'll make our way into the middle 60s by the afternoon. Sunshine continuing to shine overhead. 78, way above average for tomorrow. A small cold front will pass through Friday afternoon into Saturday, so we'll drop slightly in our temperatures, if you even really want to call it a cold front. 70 for the high temperature on Saturday, and we will increase once again from there. Stay nice and dry until Tuesday and Wednesday as we introduce our next chance of rain. We'll take a look at that 7-day forecast coming up.
Thank you, Joel. Well, February is American Heart Month, a reminder about heart disease, but many ignore the warning signs and face deadly consequences. Up next, how one man came face to face with those dangers. Time for some health news. For most people, cold weather is just an inconvenience, but for some, exposure to the cold can trigger a serious allergic reaction. It's called cold urticaria, a rare condition where cold temperatures cause the immune system to overreact, leading to hives, swelling, and in severe cases, life-threatening reactions. Doctors say it's more common in women and can be triggered by cold air, swimming, icy drinks, or even touching cold objects. The good news, many people see improvement over time, but as the winter continues, awareness is key because for some, the cold isn't just uncomfortable, it can be dangerous. Autism rates in boys and girls may be more comparable than we previously thought. Autism has been viewed as a condition that affects far more boys than girls, but a new Swedish study suggests while adolescent boys are more likely to be diagnosed than girls, by the age of 20, the numbers of men and women diagnosed with autism are nearly even. Researchers say girls tend to have better social and communication skills, making autism more difficult to diagnose. The keto diet shows promise in helping people with treatment-resistant depression. A study published in JAMA found the diet, which focuses on high-fat, low-carb meals, had antidepressant benefits compared to other diets. However, the study's authors note the improvement was small and patients required a lot of support. It remains the #1 killer of Americans. Heart disease causes close to 700,000 deaths every year. Mandy Gaither has a cautionary message from one patient who ignored his heart health warning signs. He explains how it almost cost him his life.
At first, Alex Balmez thought he was just getting older. The 32-year-old father felt fatigued and put on some extra pounds.
I don't like seeing doctors, because if you see a doctor, that means there's something bad typically. So I always push it off.
But he kept feeling worse and assumed it was a virus or perhaps anxiety. He was vomiting and having trouble sleeping while lying flat, which led to shortness of breath.
I felt like I was drowning.
When Balmez finally went to the doctor, he was told all those signs he'd been dismissing were warning him that his heart was failing.
It was actually a massive shock to me and my family.
On that encounter, I immediately knew that Alex was in trouble.
Dr. Yahara Ortiz with Orlando Health says since Balmez's symptoms of heart failure had been going on for a while, he eventually experienced a life-threatening condition called cardiogenic shock.
That's when a patient is so sick and the heart is so sick that it can barely keep up with demands of the body.
His team of doctors decided that Balmez would be a good candidate for a left ventricular assist device, or LVAD, an implant that does the work for his heart.
So now you're able to flow blood in your body.
Less than 2 years after surgery, Balmez says his life is almost back to normal. His advice to others, don't wait. Listen to your body.
I waited to the very end, and it was God's grace that I caught it in time.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Oh, so the Super Bowl is just days away now. And no matter what team you're rooting for, everyone can agree the snacks are always a big win with your guest, whether you're a party planner or more of a couch potato. What is your favorite Super Bowl snack? That was our question of the day over on Facebook. I have so many. I mentioned that I have to have wings, but chips and salsa, I feel like should definitely be on the menu as well.
Or even, just as simple as like a charcuterie board. I'm okay with that too.
Ooh, I love a charcuterie board.
Absolutely.
They were saying yesterday when we talked about it that your veggie tray is going to cost you more, but I also think you should add it because you got to have a little good with all the not so good that you're going to have.
Definitely have to watch.
Yeah. Charles said over on my Facebook page that bourbon wings, or is it bourbon and wings, whichever. I thought that was funny.
Sounds good.
Let's see. Minnie says tamales, yum. And then we talked about those jalapeno poppers earlier as well. I mean, there are so many things you can put on the spread, you know?
You really can. I mean, it's just endless possibilities.
You could do barbecue. You could do, if you'd like more Mexican food, Tex-Mex.
Yes.
I'm in for all of it. Sounds good to me.
It's all food and all snacks, and I'm hungry.
And this time, you can actually watch the game outside if you want to this weekend.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if you have any outdoor plans, if you don't have any, like I was saying earlier, definitely make some. Absolutely.
Now's the time.
And now is the time. Temperatures, they're going to be way above the average by several degrees. We're talking up to 20 degrees above the average. And even for today, we're just a little bit above average. 66 for the high this afternoon, 59 by the time we hit noon. Gorgeous conditions for the patio. Lots of sunshine overhead, and this is the reason why. Off to the west, we got this ridge of high pressure that will eventually be moving in, and that's going to be bringing us some warm, mild conditions, very dry conditions as well until we get to Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we do have this trough of low pressure that will swing through, and we'll have ourselves our next chance of some rain, and we certainly need it. Considering this, we got some severe drought across some parts of the area, mainly over deep East Texas. You go further to the north, this red shaded area is an extreme drought, so we certainly need the rain. Unfortunately, we're not going to see some until Tuesday and Wednesday, but luckily it's still in the forecast, so we'll keep an eye on that. 60s for this afternoon, clear skies overhead, dropping down into the upper 30s to low 40s for your Friday morning. And then by Friday afternoon, we shoot way up into the middle to upper 70s, even 80s could be a possibility in some parts of the area. It is a gorgeous forecast to get outside. 40s to start your Saturday, 60s and possibly even some 70s could be possible in some parts of the area for your Saturday afternoon. And then we'll be rebounding back into the 70s and middle 70s, I should say, completely into your Super Bowl Sunday. And we'll have a little bit of clouds to kind of watch for as well ahead of our next system. Tuesday into Wednesday, likely could see up to about 1/4 of an inch in some of the heavier showers that will be moving through. Either way, we'll definitely need the rain. We'll take it as much as we can. Above average temperatures likely within the next 8 to 14 days. That will continue across much of the country, especially into East Texas as well. We're staying right around the average when it comes to rainfall as well. Gorgeous 7-day forecast here. 70s all the way through the next several days. Watching that next chance of rain Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll keep you posted.
Thank you, Joel. We're about to step away for a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcast with a news update for you. Stay with us here on CBS 19+. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this morning news update. Happening now, thousands of families across Texas are applying for the new Education Freedom Accounts program that's now open. The funds can be used for tuition and other education expenses like tutoring and textbooks. 8,000 applications were sent in during the first hour of the program opening yesterday. If the number of applicants exceeds the $1 billion that state lawmakers set aside for the program, there will be a lottery system.
The more people who apply who don't get it, that will be used in future legislative sessions to determine how much money they budget for this in the future. So I'm telling everyone, if you're interested in the program, apply for it.
Even if a student is accepted by the program, they will still need to apply and be accepted by a private school. The deadline to apply is March 17th. A former Kilgore football coach at the center of an investigation has an embezzlement charge against him dismissed. Forrest Mazie was accused of taking nearly $4,000 from a football program in Oklahoma where he once worked. Mazie went public on social media, saying the facts are now front and center with the charge dismissed. Mazie says he is putting this chapter behind him. A Kerr County man behind bars for a deadly 26 shooting has died in an East Texas prison. Benjamin Pierce was found unresponsive in his cell at the Michael Unit in Tennessee Colony on February 1st. Authorities say Pierce's death was caused by an infection from a lower back wound and malnutrition. Pierce had been serving time for killing Donald Ballard after a feud over Ballard's barking dog. Governor Greg Abbott spoke out yesterday calling for an end to student protest during school hours. He has given directives to the Texas Education Agency calling for penalties for students who take part and any school staff that helps them. Growing concerns around ICE activity are driving those student-led walkout protests statewide, including here in East Texas. The TEA is now cracking down on districts. Those in violation could face a loss in funding, since districts are paid based on student attendance, and students will be marked absent. Well, it's shaping up to be just a beautiful day across East Texas. Let's get an update from Joel.
Absolutely. High pressure is in control, giving us those clear skies that will continue into the rest of today. Highs in the middle to upper 60s. Lovely weather for the patio, and it just gets better into the next few days. Again, there you go, 60s all across the area for the afternoon. We'll drop down into the upper 30s and low 40s to start your Friday, so a little bit warmer than this morning, but still definitely on the chilly side. You'll definitely want a jacket on your way out. 70s to near 80 by Friday afternoon, and then we have a small cold front that'll drift through Friday afternoon into Saturday. So temperatures on Saturday morning once again starting in the 40s, but only making it to the 60s. I think there could be some 70s in some parts of the area, but still a little bit chillier, but still also very mild. Those mild conditions will continue into the next several days after that. Rain moves in Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll keep you posted on that.
News before you go this morning. An East Texas veteran and his wife were scammed out of more than $60,000. Now Ashley Brian Campbell, the man responsible, is headed to prison for 12 years. Campbell posed as a contractor, taking tens of thousands of dollars for major construction work that never started. Retired veteran Austin May and his wife say that Campbell reached out to them on social media, promising a custom dream home that fit their budget. The man convicted of trying to assassinate President Trump at his Florida golf course is hoping to appeal after being sentenced to life in prison. During yesterday's hearing, his attorney asked for leniency, but prosecutors argued for the maximum, saying Ryan Routh showed no remorse. The judge agreed, calling Routh evil before handing down the life sentence. The family of Nancy Guthrie took to social media last night, posting an emotional video begging for her safe return. Authorities believe the 84-year-old mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie was abducted from her home in Arizona Saturday night. In the video, Savannah and her siblings acknowledge letters sent to media outlets stating they need concrete evidence that their mother is alive. One last check on your East Texas weather now, Joel.
Yeah, bundle up on your way out this morning. Temperatures still in the upper 20s and low 30s, but by this afternoon, definitely a different story. 60s for today, upper 70s for tomorrow, 70s continuing into the weekend and into the next several days after that. 77 for the high on Monday. Also, by the way, Super Bowl Sunday, 75, partly cloudy skies. If you have any plans, definitely enjoy the outdoors as well. You can be able to do that. Awesome weather for this weekend. No travel issues either. Next chance of rain will not arrive until Tuesday into Wednesday. We certainly do need the rain, so we'll keep you updated on the latest when it comes to that. But in the meantime, boy, just enjoy the weather.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the next 5.
Oh, certainly.
Not even think about the rain just yet.
That's right.
Well, think about this. 2 icons of creativity teaming up, Lego and Crocs. They are joining forces in a playful multi-year partnership, bringing bold self-expression to life. I should say so. Take a look. First up on the list, the Lego Brick Clog, a colorful collectible mashup of Lego imagination and Crocs fun. Fans can even grab a Lego minifigure with its own miniature Croc shoes. The collab launches Monday, February 16th, globally. Those are some big shoes to fill.
I like that. Those are some big shoes to fill. I feel like, I mean, they might feel comfortable like on the inside, but I feel like to actually like pick up your feet and walk around,
Kind of like Big Bird.
or a clown.
Or a clown, a little bit.
A little bit uncomfortable
Crocs
there.
are very, very comfortable. They have that cushy feel to them.
Yeah.
So maybe they're great. I do like the creativity, trying something new.
Exactly.
It's better than stepping on a Lego.
I agree. I agree with that. Stepping into a Lego.
That's right. So
I
much
like
better. Thanks for stepping into the day with us here on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. Of course, don't forget to watch the noon show, also coming up here and on CBS 19. And just keep it here for the latest news and weather throughout the day. Hope you have a great rest of your morning. We will see you dark and early tomorrow at 5 a.m. on Morning Y'all.